most important countries in Southeast Asia. It is known for its rich cultural heritage, beautiful tourist destinations, delicious cuisine, and strong economic growth. As a member of ASEAN, Thailand plays a significant role in regional trade, investment, and international business activities. In today's global business environment, companies frequently work with employees, customers, suppliers, and business partners from different cultural backgrounds. Because of this, understanding cultural differences has become an important skill for managers and organizations that operate internationally. Culture influences many aspects of business. It affects how people communicate, negotiate, solve problems, make decisions, and interact with one another in the workplace. A business practice that is considered normal in one country may be viewed differently in another. Therefore, managers need to understand these differences in order to avoid misunderstandings and build successful business relationships. When discussing Thailand, it is important to understand that Thai society places great value on respect, politeness, harmony, and maintaining good relationships. These cultural values can be seen not only in daily life but also in the workplace and business environment. For example, Thai employees generally show respect towards senior colleagues and managers. Many organizations' hierarchy plays in an important role, and important decisions are often made by higher level management. At the same time, maintaining positive relationships and avoiding conflicts are also high value. Another interesting aspect of Thai culture is its communication style. Thai people often communicate in a polite and indirect manner, especially when dealing with sensitive issues. This helps maintaining harmony and prevents unnecessary conflicts between individuals. In addition, relationship building is an important part of doing business in Thailand. Business partners often prefer to establish trust and mutual understanding before focusing on negotiations or business agreements. As a result, developing strong relationships can be just as important as discussing contracts and business opportunities. In this video, we will explore several key aspects of Thai business culture, including negotiation styles, communication practice, workplace, hierarchy, decision-making process, and comparison with Malaysian business culture. By understanding these cultural characteristics, managers and employees can communicate more effectively, build stronger professional relationships, and work more successfully in an international business environment. So, without further ado, let's begin our discussion on cross-cultural management in Thailand.
There are a few rules to follow when working here in Thailand. First, never speak negatively of the country, the royals, and Buddha. Second, always be polite and respectful. Smile and speak softly. Third, never criticize someone openly and directly. And fourth, never pass things over someone's head as it's considered disrespectful. In addition, Thais love to build personal relationships through lunch, drinks, or entertainment before proceeding with business decisions.
What do you need to know? Establishing good relationships. Thai people are group-oriented and they generally trust those who they know. Be ready to go to the restaurant before negotiations and expect personal questions. Remember, Thais prefer to establish relationships with people rather than with companies. This means that if you change the representative of your company, the process of building trust will most likely start over again. One more advice. Conducting negotiations in Thailand with a team of negotiators instead of relying on a single individual may speed up the negotiation process as well as make it easier to continue negotiations in the future. Saving face. In Thailand's culture, saving face is essential. When dealing with Thai partners, remember to control your emotions and to not cause embarrassment to the other person, as it will lead to the loss of not only your face but also the face of the whole company. Having a positive attitude and being polite is the key to success. Introduce yourself in a right way. In Thailand's business culture, the respect of a person depends primarily on his or her age and rank. Always introduce your name as well as status, and don't be surprised to get such questions as how old are you or how much money do you make. The reason behind it is that it is very difficult for Thais to have a conversation with a person whose status is unclear, since knowing whether someone is a superior, inferior or equal strongly influences behavior. Time does matter. If possible, schedule meetings at least 4 weeks in advance. Thais generally expect foreign visitors to be punctual. Avoid being more than 10 to 15 minutes late. Displaying anger if you have to wait reflects very poorly on you. Take your time doing business in Thailand. Do not expect small talk or restaurant visit to be short. Also, be ready to have long negotiations. Thai people do not like to rush anything. What else? Environment does matter. Never underestimate the role of government officials, bureaucrats and the military, as they all have an impact on a majority of industries. The focus on longer term can additionally be seen in the making of changes. In short term, the business culture of Thailand sees changes often as a threat. Furthermore, in the Thai culture, changes are prepared with plenty of time to implement them, further increasing the focus on long term. In general, short-term changes are to be kept at minimal level. Context. Thailand culture is high context culture, which means they emphasize strong and extensive relationships between personnel. Additionally, the feeling of belonging to a group or being an outsider of the group is common.
Okay guys, for assignment we choose Thailand, right?
Yeah, because their business culture is quite interesting.
And honestly, some of their work culture different from ours.
Especially their communication style.
So, why should we discuss that?
I think negotiation style. Cross-cultural management perspective. The group discussion in this scene reflects an important stage in international teamwork, which is the initial cultural integration phase. In this stage, individuals are not only discussing tasks, but also beginning to interpret how another culture behaves in a business context. This is important because cross-cultural understanding does not happen instantly. It develops through observation, discussion, and comparison. In Thailand business environment, interactions often start in an informal and relaxed manner. This reflects a relationship-oriented culture, where trust and familiarity are considered essential before formal business discussion takes place. This can be explained using the concept of relationship-based cultures, where people prefer to establish personal connections before focusing on tasks or outcomes. In such environments, business success is often linked to how strong the relationship is between parties. For example, in Thai workplace or business meetings, it is common for initial conversations to focus on personal topics such as family, well-being, or general conversations before discussing business matters. This helps to create comfort and trust. In contrast, in task-oriented cultures, discussion usually begin immediately with objectives, timeline, and business goals. Therefore, the interaction in these scenes show how cultural awareness begins, with understanding that communication styles are different across countries, and that these differences are not wrong but simply culturally influenced.
In Thailand, people usually speak politely during meetings. They pay attention to their tone of voice and the way they communicate with others. Respect is very important, especially when speaking to senior employees, managers, or business partners. Because of this, Thai business meetings are often conducted in a calm and professional manner. They also avoid aggressive negotiation because they want to maintain a good relationships. Instead of pushing for immediate decisions, they prefer discussing matters carefully and respectfully. Building trust is often considered more important than achieving quick results. This approach helps create long-term business relationships and mutual understanding between both parties. In Thai companies, hierarchy plays an important role in the workplace. Employees usually understand their roles and responsibilities according to their position in the organization. Senior employees and managers are highly respected, and their opinions are often valued during discussions. Because of this, important decisions are usually referred to higher management before being finalized. Employees usually respect senior workers and managers. In many situations, workers may avoid openly disagreeing with their supervisors in order to maintain harmony and respect. This does not mean that employees do not have ideas, but they often communicate them in a polite and careful way. As a result, decision-making in Thai companies is often influenced by hierarchy and respect for authority.
I read that Thai people prefer relationship-based negotiation. What does that mean actually?
It means that they like building trust first before talking about business.
So they don't really rush straight into business discussion?
Yeah, they prefer polite conversation first.
I see. That's why their first meeting are usually.
And respect is important in Thailand business culture. The negotiation style discussed in this scene can be analysed using the concept of high context culture, a term introduced by Edward Hall. In high context cultures like Thailand, communication relies heavily on context, non-verbal cues, and shared understanding rather than explicit verbal statements. This means that during negotiations, meaning is often not directly stated but implied through tone, behavior, and relationship history between the parties involved. In Thai business culture, negotiation is not just about reaching an agreement quickly. Instead, it is about maintaining harmony and ensuring that both parties feel respected and comfortable through the process. This is why Thai negotiators often avoid aggressive or confrontational behavior. Direct pressure or forceful negotiation tactics may be seen as disrespectful and may damage the relationship. For example, instead of saying no directly, the Thai negotiations may use softer expressions or delay responses to avoid confrontation. While this may seem unclear to outsiders, it is actually a culturally appropriate way of preserving harmony. For foreign managers, this can create challenges because they may misinterpret politeness as agreement or hesitation as indecisions. Therefore, successful negotiation in Thailand requires patience, cultural sensitivity, and strong relationship building skills rather than purely transactional thinking. I heard that Thailand people communicate indirectly.
What do you mean by indirectly?
It's more like they don't usually say no directly.
Yeah, because they want to avoid conflict.
They use softer word instead. Oh, for example, they may say maybe later or we will think about it.
Okay. So the foreigner can misunderstand them sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
The communication style shown in this scene reflects one of the most important cultural differences in international business, which is direct versus indirect communication. Thailand is generally considered a high context and indirect communication culture. This means that messages are often delivered in a subtle and polite way to avoid conflict or embarrassment. In this type of culture, maintaining harmony is more important than being direct or explicit. As a result, people may avoid saying no clearly, especially in formal or professional settings. Instead, they may use phrases such as "we will consider it" or "maybe later," which may carry different meanings depending on context. This can create misunderstanding for individuals from low context cultures, where communication tends to be direct, clear, and explicit. For example, a manager from a low context culture may interpret a value response as agreement, when in reality it may be a polite refusal about cultural interpretation. From a cross-cultural management perspective, this means that effective communication requires not only listening to words, but also understanding tone, behavior, and context. Managers working in Thailand must therefore develop cultural intelligence to accurately interpret messages and avoid miscommunication.
So, can your company agree with this proposal?
Maybe we can discuss it again later.
Wait, is that yes or no? I think they are rejecting politely.
Yeah, Thai people usually avoid the direct confrontation, I see.
Oh, I see.
The roleplay in this scene demonstrates a common cross-cultural misunderstanding in international business communication. The response, maybe we can discuss it later, may seem neutral or undecided on the surface. However, in Thai cultural context, this often represents a polite form of disagreement or rejection. This can be explained through the concept of saving face, which is very important in many Asian cultures, including Thailand. Saving face refers to maintaining dignity, respect, and avoiding embarrassment in social interactions. Direct rejection may cause loss of face for either party, which is why indirect responses are preferred. For foreign managers who are not familiar with this concept, such response may lead to confusion or incorrect assumptions in decision making. For example, a manager might proceed with a proposal thinking it is accepted, when in reality, the local partner has already expressed disagreement in a polite manner. This shows that cross-cultural misunderstandings are not caused by poor communication, but by different cultural interpretations of the same message. Therefore, effective cross-cultural management requires awareness of non-verbal signal and indirect communication style.
I also found that Thailand follow hierarchy in the workplace.
Oh, meaning bosses have more power?
Yes, usually top management make the final decision.
So employees cannot simply make important decisions.
Normally they wait for approval first.
That's why the respect toward the senior is important for them.
So what we see in the scene is called the high power distance culture. This is termed from a researcher named Hofstede, and it talks about how people look at the bosses and the authority. For example, like in Thailand, the companies have a very clear chain of command. The top bosses hold all the power, although the employees are expected to be following the orders and not arguing with the decisions. Because of this, everything goes through the top manager. So even for the smallest thing, their workers are usually need to wait and ask their bosses before making a choice. If you are a manager from a country where everyone is treated as equal, this might seem very slow and inefficient. But in Thailand, doing things this way shows them for a respect. It keeps the workplace peaceful and orderly. This is why understanding their culture is different, because it is so important. So if you want to be a good leader in Thailand, you have to change your styles to match what workers expect.
Here are some do's and do nots of Thai business culture. When in Thailand, smile. Whether it's an apology and you are negotiating a business deal, smiling is an important part of Thai culture. According to Hofstede's cultural dimensions, the top highest dimensions for Thailand are: Thailand has a collectivist culture, which is the opposite of the individualist culture that is often seen in Western countries. They value hierarchy in the workplace. In general, the most senior person is the most respected. Uncertainty avoidance. This is different to risk-taking. Thai people are willing to take risks but tend to be offended by uncertainty. Thai people are likely to resistant change in the workplace and dislike ambiguity. The do-nots. Don't point. Instead, if you need to indicate to a person, lift your chin in their direction. If you need to motion someone over, do so by making a patting motion with fingers straight, palm pointed downwards. Don't lose your cool. Thailand is big on face-saving culture. It is essential to act in a cool manner if you are to make business there. Don't touch someone's head or hair. The head is the most sacred part of the body in Thai Buddhist culture.
I think Malaysia is like this similar too.
Yeah, because we are also respect other people and our bosses.
But I think Thai communication is more indirect.
True, Malaysian can be more straightforward sometimes.
So cultural differences are important in international business.
Since compare between the Malaysia and Thailand, and it shows that even a neighbor country in the Southeast Asia have the important culture differences. So both countries can care a lot by showing a lot of respect, being polite and keeping the peace, but they also practice this value in a different ways. For example, people in Thailand are usually more indirect when they speak, so they work very hard to avoid any argument and keep everyone happy. So this change how they talk and do the business. Malaysia also care about respect and hierarchy, but in Malaysian companies, especially multicultural one, people are often a bit more flexible, so they feel a little more comfortable to sharing their true opinion. And this comparison shows us that something important, you cannot treat all the countries in the same region the same way. So even when the countries are close to each other, their workplace habit can be very differently. And as for the business professional, their lesson is clear. And do not guess a country culture just based on their location. You need to learn more about each country one by one.
So overall, Thailand business culture focuses on respect and politeness.
They also prefer relationship-based negotiation. Their communication style is more indirect, and hierarchy is important in decision making.
Understanding the cultural differences can avoid the misunderstanding in the business in the future.